think it's boring.
So this morning, you know, I saw this headline this morning. I went, what? About Angelina Jolie, and she is now coming out and telling everybody that she had a preventative double mastectomy because she has the gene, the breast cancer gene. Of course, her mother passed away, I think, at the age of like 56. She was very young.
They said she had an 87% chance of getting breast cancer, and she was like, let's nip it in the bud. And you know what? She's getting some flack for this already, which is sad. But I respect this. I think this is a great preventative measure. And,
I think she
has 6 children, and she can't run the risk of that. And if she knows that she only has a 13% chance of not having cancer,
I think she is an amazing woman.
I was going to do this test, and I still am going to do it because very similar to her, my mother died at 55, and you know, the chances for me of getting breast cancer are probably very high. And my sister and I both have talked about it. And I was really inspired by Renee Seiler. Do you remember Renee Seiler? She used to be on the news here years ago. She had the same thing because she had a lot of concerns. And I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to have the test done.
I think why not? If you know that you're at a greater risk because your mother had it.
Absolutely.
And what Angelina was saying, and she wrote a piece in, I think it was like the New York Post or New York Times, an op-ed piece about it, telling everybody what she did. And yeah, she said that she had, because she has the gene, she had an 87% chance of getting breast cancer, a 50% chance of ovarian cancer. And now by taking this preventative measure, she's literally cut her chances to less than 5%. And you know, she has children, and she's trying to explain to them.
And that's what for me, because I am a victim, because I am a child of a mother who left so early, and I know what that did to me for so many years, and what still does to me today. I think about my kids, I think about my husband, I think about my grandkids, and all the people that would be affected if I'm not here. And so, you know what, I admire her. She's had a pretty tough journey when you look at her childhood. I know that as a teenager she used to do, was it cutting? She would cut herself.
Fabulous, this woman.
But she has really taken hold of her life. She's having an impact on the world, on those kids. I respect her. I love the way she's handled this with grace and with dignity.
What is interesting to see and watch is how many movies now she'll get she'll because she's had a double mastectomy.
Well, no, she had reconstructive surgery.
Yes.
So
she has new breast implants.
She looks, you know, presumably she looks exactly the same.
No, I've seen women, and it's not the same. It really isn't.
Well, and it depends on what type of mastectomy you have. You can have one that a radical mastectomy, of course, takes part of the chest wall. It takes your lymph nodes into, and it can be just horribly disfiguring. Depending on the type that you get, though, you can save the nipple and the area around it, or sometimes when you have reconstruction, you have to have that. You can have that tattooed. They can tattoo it. I mean, the work that they can do now, as far as reconstructive surgery goes, is amazing. And what I love about what she said too is she said, in no way do I feel less of a woman for doing this. I feel like I made a strong, responsible decision that in no way impacted my femininity. And I wish more women would hear that and understand that it doesn't at all impact the force of the woman that you are.
Yeah,
you know?
But a lot of women do struggle with it when they talk about, you know, looking in the mirror and seeing the scars. And it does affect you, but you're right. Hopefully this will inspire women to know that, you know, that's physical. That can, you know, that really doesn't matter, but it's really about what's going on in the heart and in the mind, and about our family, our children, and the legacy we have to leave behind. So.
Now, Susie, when you had breast cancer, did you lose your breasts?
Yeah, I had a mastectomy. I wish I'd had the double, but I had the single, because now I got one that's not gone and the other one's pointing down at my toes. So it would have been a whole lot easier.
I was trying to have like a serious conversation, and she turned into the fourth world.
Susie just brought the right up.
She just like.
Did it impact you in the way that Angelina was speaking about, that some women feel that it impacts their femininity?
No, but you got to understand. I had it like in 2005. All right, which is 8 years ago. And so I was 7? 8 years ago? Yeah, I was 67. You don't care at 67 where you have a breast or not. I mean, it's not like anybody's dying to see it. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different ballgame from my perspective, as it would be from your perspective. You just, I didn't want to do chemo. I did not want to do radiation. I did not want to take tamoxifen.
Yeah.
And because you're always encouraged immediately to get on that drug. That is a toxic drug. I was at 0 stage, so it was fast growing. And I just thought, no, I'm going to whack it off and then just don't even think about it anymore.
So when they do the procedure, they test you completely to make sure that it hasn't gone into the lymph nodes and everything.
Yeah, into the sentinel lymph nodes, and it hadn't. I had extensive testing. I had the most wonderful doctor in the world, who sat with my husband, who is the most curious person. She sat and held his hand for an hour and a half, and she never once looked at her watch. I had terrific people. My best friend took me to her house and put me in a bed that you kind of sank in the middle, and I propped up like this, and I watched Shogun, and I watched, all the 19-hour movies that were ever done, Roots. I watched everything, and she'd bring me Jell-O.
I'll tell you something. Isn't that something about close girlfriends, though?
Yeah.
Is when the going gets tough. I've been in the situation where I've done that for a girlfriend, and there's just nothing better than, because you love your girlfriends like family, and you want to take care of them, and that's neat that she did that for you.
She's watching. Hi, Kate. Good morning, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Thank everybody for Kate.
Yeah, they say that's what gets you through.
She has Parkinson's.
Does she really?
And I've never seen anybody in the world handle it like she has. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have her on the show because I've never seen anyone handle a devastating thing like she does. And I think she'll be a real inspiration for anybody that's dealing with anything. So
they say the key to healing, whether it's Parkinson's or breast cancer, it's the people that are around you. It's those people that support you and love you and stand beside you that get you through it. I know when Emmett's sister Marsha's been going through it as well, and she said she couldn't have gotten through it without us loving on her.
The other thing is, when you have it and you deal with it, you don't need to get up every day and go down the what if road.
Right.
You just stay present today. And that's what we all should do, regardless of what we're dealing with, is every day just stay in this day.
It's the best advice, and it's the hardest advice to follow. It's something I remind myself of every day when I start getting spun up with stress or whatever. I think, I don't need to do the what if. I don't need to play the what if game. And Scott and I talk about this all the time too, because his personality is very much that way. He's a forward thinker, so he's always kind of planning ahead, which in many ways is a good thing. But sometimes it's like we spend so much time doing that we don't just sit here.
You can't change tomorrow.
You
can't change it.
You cannot know tomorrow, and yet that's where most of us live.
Yeah.
When we're sitting at a restaurant, looking into an iPhone, looking at what other people are saying to us or tweeting us, when we're not looking at the person in front of us, what in the world is that all about?
Right.
Stay in the moment with the people you're with.
Right.
Put that thing down and get it out, in a closet somewhere.